Hello, welcome to the Budgeting Sisters. I am the oldest sister, and I'm so excited that you can watch me take control of my finances without feeling overwhelmed. Grab a chair or maybe a cup of tea, and let's dive into this week's budgeting breakdown. Although last week we went through the next 4 weeks' budget, a few things have changed over the last week that I've now want to run through the amended changes as there's a big difference in the budget. So we're going to have a look at the budget for this coming 4 weeks again. I know we did it last week, but there's been quite a few changes that I wanted to have a look at. So first of all, we're rolling over a lot bigger amount. This is because I managed to find some money in a savings account. And I also miscalculated the last 4 weeks of £17. This is due to the phone bill. I thought the phone bill was in the last 4 weeks, but actually it comes in just at the beginning of this 4 weeks. That is where the problem comes when you're working on a 4 week period and your bills are done on a monthly. But we've got a bigger, due to the fact that I've got changing jobs, etc., having that bigger buffer is going to really help, as you see as we come further down. Job one, that figure stayed the same at the moment. It's just a prediction. This is because I've got 3 weeks at my old job, which is that wage, and the figure that's in other, the 449, is the 1 week at my new job, and that should hopefully balance itself out what would have been the same as previous month's job one money. When looking at job two's money, I noticed that I'd actually had a pay rise that I was including. So my basic pay had actually gone up, but I was including it as part of overtime. And so that's why that figure is now £15 different. Universal credit, I had budgeted between that and my other half's job, I'd budgeted bigger, but we've just received an email this morning to say that that is basically the figure we're getting. We'll take a few pennies. And due to the fact that my husband has now been dismissed from his job through occupation health because of his illness, we won't be getting any wages through his job. So that's the only money we're going to get for universal credit. £104 is child benefit for our 3.75. Like I said, we've already gone through the other. So between that gives us a total income of £3,765. The fixed bills, they haven't changed. So they're still coming out the same figure. As I said in the last video, I forgot about the car tax. So we've had to calculate that into we've got the dog groomer, which is a sinking fund, the dentist, which is a sinking fund, spa day, and the school. We've just received an email from our energy company to tell us that the final bill for the previous company that went into administration is being prepared. So hopefully once we know what's going on with that, then I'll know the £50 a month that we've been putting aside, what will clear that. And hopefully we've got enough in there that will clear it. If not, I'll have to arrange with them a payment plan to be able to sort that out. One of the good things that I had noticed that I thought we had one more payment for, the credit card company. The credit card is actually gone. I actually predicted that it was going to be a little bit higher to clear the last little bit, but it turns out we actually cleared the last of it last month. So that's a positive. So that saves us £250. But between the total income being lower, having that credit card bill gone, we are actually going to roll over for the next period £272, which I know that before we had 469. And as I explained last time, I was hoping that if there was an issue with my wages because of the whole changing of the jobs, that 469 would buffer us. And although we've still got a buffer, the buffer is almost £200 lower than before. It would have been the full amount, or virtually the full amount, had I had to pay the credit card, but because obviously I miscalculated that, That's going to be a positive benefit for that. That will be our budget for starting at the beginning of the 4-week period, starting on the 20th of June. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you found this useful, then go ahead and like that button, press that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the new videos. If you've got any questions or budgeting wins or tips to share, drop them in the comments below. Love seeing how you all making progress with your money. New videos will drop every Thursday and Saturday, so I'll see you at the next one. Until then, keep crushing your goals, and remember, every penny has a job.